guys an example. This is the clay. I'll show you. So that's how it looks like. This is very hard. It's like a stone, but it's very, very light. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mara, and for today's video we're gonna be talking about how I transfer my plants from soil to leca. Before anything else, I would like you guys to know the meaning of leca, which is lightweight expanded clay aggregate. So basically it's just made up of clay. Just to give you guys an example, this is the clay. I'll show you. So that's how it looks like. This is very hard. It's like a stone, but it's very, very light. So that's how leca looks like, and it's basically a growing medium that allows to grow plants without the soil or whatsoever. So I started transferring my plants to leca like 2 to 3 months ago, and so far they are all happy, and I'm so glad that I decided to transfer them to leca. And one of my plants that I decided to plant to leca is this Monstera Adansonia. This is basically in leca soil for about I think about 3 weeks now, and yeah, it's here. So far it looks so happy. Actually there's about 2 leaves growth here. This is the new one, and it's been happy inside here. The other one that I transferred to leca is this Monstera deliciosa. So this is actually been in this pot for about 1 month now, and as you can see there's a new leaf growing here, and it looks so happy. So I had this install for about I think 2 months. Then I realized that the plant is not growing. It doesn't grow any leaves, so I decided to plant it in leca. So after few weeks, I already seen this new leaf growing in leca. So another plant is, okay, I'm going to be showing you later on how I transferred my ficus Elastica Tineki into Leca. So I'm going to show you the step-by-step on how I did the transfer. So now it's already here in a beautiful planter, and so far it's been in Leca for about a week now, and so far it looks very happy and healthy. So I want you guys to know the advantage and disadvantage of transferring your plants from soil to Leca. Of course, there's a lot of disadvantages too, aside from the one that I mentioned earlier. So I wrote it down so I won't miss out anything. The first one for advantage is reduce risk of pests. So I noticed last time before I transferred my plants to Leca, some of my plants are actually inviting some pests, and I'm kind of scared because I put my plants everywhere in the house. I put it in the bathroom, in the bedroom, and even in the kitchen. So I decided to transfer them finally to Leca. And I still have some plants that is still on soil, like for example this what do you call this? Prayer plant. Yeah, this prayer plant. Maranta something. Yeah, it's still on soil. And so far, I bought this like 2 weeks ago, and I'm still trying to observe whether this plant is really healthy. Then I will start the transplant to the sun is already dry, and maybe in a couple of days we'll be transferring it to Leca also. And yes, so number 2 advantage is easier plant care. Yes, I realized that having your plants transferred to Leca is a lot easier to care. Like you don't have to stick your finger to the soil to see whether it's dry or wet and get your finger dirty. So usually for the planter like this, it's called self-watering pot. There is actually a certain level of water that you need to fill your pot with. So make sure that later I'll show you the guidelines on how you determine the water level of the pot. So it depending guys on the pot that you're using, of course. Number 3. Less week-to-week maintenance. So as I mentioned, week-to-week maintenance is when you water your plants, you have to stick your finger, right? Aside from that, you have to rinse the Leca balls for at least once or twice a week, because of course sometimes there will be some dirt built up inside. So you need to just rinse it with tap water, and probably you need to change the water also, so not to attract mosquitoes or any pests. Number 4 is it's a reusable growing medium. So yes, you can actually reuse these Leca balls. Well, of course, these Leca balls are reusable. It doesn't have any nutrients inside it, so you can just refill the nutrients by putting the liquid nutrients every 2 or 3 weeks. The last one is you can easily check for root rot. If your soil is, let's say, showing unhappiness, you can easily remove the Leca and check whether there's a root rot. So let's talk about disadvantages now. So the first one in the list for me is higher initial cost to get started. Yes, because Leca is not that cheap. In fact, I think 1 liter will cost about, I think this is about 1 liter or lesser. So this will cost you about $4 to $5. It's more expensive about 3 to 4 times compared to normal potting soil. So it's an investment for easy care plants, of course. Number 2 in my list is more work to get started. Yes, a lot of work actually. It's a dirty work to me. So because when the plant is already in soil and then you start to transfer it to the Leca, the most dirty part is by removing those soil in the root system. So this will take me about 1 hour to do so because some of the roots are very fragile and very thin, and you have to be careful not to damage them. So yes, it's a lot of work. Number 3 in my list is more restricted pot choices. So you can't just use a normal pot like this. So this one is not in it's not in Leca yet. So basically, it's just a normal pot that you can use. Which is a normal drainage, and this is just a catch pot for me to put so it looks so elegant and pretty. So an example of the pot that you can use is like this self-watering pot, which has the mesh pot and the catch pot. So it has to be at least a gap, at least half, so it has room to put some water. Like example will be this one. This one you can use it as a pot. You just need to drill a hole so the water, you can easily rinse the water. So sometimes for small plants I use a small glass also, but this one doesn't have any hole, so you can easily catch the water and easily to wash as well. And this base also, you can use it. You can just fill it up with more Leca inside, and drill a hole so you can easily rinse the water off. And another one is a normal pot that we use for our plants with small. And just make sure you have a catch pot to put it on like that. So you can easily rinse the Leca with water and just throw it away. So this can be an option too. And yeah, as the same as my monstera, actually this is a bigger one. Actually for me, not so restricted. In fact, you can actually recreate, or you can actually be creative on what pot you're gonna use for all these plants. So last one on my list for this advantage is you need to get a special fertilizer. So yes, since you can't put any like the natural fertilizer that we use, you need to get a special fertilizer. For me, I use HB101, the one that you need to dilute into water, and you need to use that to put in the water reservoir. So that's all on my list. So let me know in the comment if you have any questions about the advantage and disadvantages, or if you have any other inputs, please let me know. So thank you guys for sticking with me up to this part, and all of these are valid reasons for you to choose or not to choose Leca over soil. In the end, it's up to you to decide what matters most, and hopefully this guide has taught you something about Leca. I'm hoping that this will help you keep your plants healthy and beautiful. So please check out my second part of this video where I show you how I transfer my plants, which is this Teneki, into Leca. So see you guys!